Welcome back to Newsstand. I can't get down from here. It's scary. This week, a junior at Oklahoma University failed a writing assignment in her psychology class because she did not cite her sources. Conservatives were quick to blame her trans teaching assistant who graded the paper, in a move that definitely wasn't pre-targeted by TPUSA. One of the students' claims in her essay was that society is pushing the lie that there are multiple genders. That's right, there are not multiple genders. There's just one. Christian. Hey, my pronouns are G's, us. Here's an impression of my cool Christian friends talking about me when I'm not around. Hey, do you know if G's is going to Bible study later? Yep, and I'm going too. Are you gonna go with us and me? I don't know, was Jesus white? There's gonna be a lot of white people jokes this episode. I mean, it's okay, we had it coming. Also this week, TSA announced, psych, you can take a flight without a real ID. It just costs a $45 fee. And for $50, you can say bomb at the airport. For $100, you can pat down a security agent. And for 1,000 smackaroonies, you get to ride on the conveyor belt at baggage claim. It's a good deal. I think it's a good deal. Well, we know he's an alcoholic, an abuser, and a sex criminal, but soon Pete Hegseth might be able to add murderer to the list. And if he's really lucky, war criminal. Will Democratic leaders call for his resignation or impeachment? In your in your dreams. This comes as Hegseth has been bombing alleged drug trafficking boats from Venezuela. No evidence of the drugs though, so just murder. Because this administration is tough on drug traffickers. However, the president did just pardon a drug trafficker and part-time president of Honduras who brought 400 tons of cocaine into the US. Ooh, the desk monsters are just finding out they're gonna have to find a new plug. What'd you think was in all these drawers? Here at Newsstand, we use a lot of headlines from AP News most of the time. But headlines like this one are bullshit. Israel launches strikes in Gaza ceasefire's latest test as hospitals say 24 killed. Now, of course, AP is not the only outlet that keeps saying Israel is testing the ceasefire. It's all over the place. Israel keeps testing the ceasefire like Kim Kardashian keeps testing to become a lawyer. They're failing the test. And in Kim's defense, her failure didn't kill anyone. But her mom's ex did. All right, here's something fun. An American zoologist in southern Africa has been collecting and storing specimens in a cheetah sperm bank for 35 years, hoping we'll never have to use them. Unrelated news, I just got a hankering for some white cheddar Cheetos. Yes, the zoologist has been collecting cheetah sperm for 35 years. It's hard work, but nobody has to do it. The fastest thing in the Sahara? That zoologist's wrist. Speaking of white stuff nobody asked for, the color of the year for 2026 has been predicted, and it is white. Ew. Specifically a tone called Cloud Dancer. The color naming company, or whatever they do, I don't really understand it, Pantone has described the color as a lofty white. Pantone also announced their new CEO, Stephen Miller. Miller, as we all know, is a cadaverous gray. The desk monster said they don't see color. Yeah, I know. We know. It's fine. Good for you. The FDA announced a recall of a bunch of shredded cheeses from multiple stores because there might be some metal fragments in there. Finally, all my ingested cheese metal can chop up all these microplastics in my belly. The Supreme Court has ruled in favor of Texas's new gerrymandered map that will give the state more Republican representation in Congress. The Supreme Court was actually behind Pantone's color of the year choice. They just didn't think there was enough white in Congress already. And if the gerrymandered map doesn't work, next step is a bomb. I do not owe you $50. I don't care if you work for TSA. We're not even at the airport right now. This has been another episode of Newsstand. No, I can say bomb as much as I want. That is my right as a Christian. And if the cherry man, ooh, watch out for the cherry man. Welcome back to Newsstand. I can't get down from here. It's scary. This week, on Friday, House Democrats released photos from the Epstein estate, including one of the president posing with young women. Also, this really funny one of Steve Bannon with Jeff Epstein posing together in front of a hotel mirror. It supposes my theory that Steve Bannon has a Finsta. I bet he posted this with the caption, "Baddies only." And I mean, he's right. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is still deciding if he's going to release his murder snuff film of the second strike on the Venezuelan boat. We're hoping for an early spring release date on Netflix, Paramount, Skydance, HBO, CNN+. It'll be the perfect Easter event for the whole family. Speaking of war crimes or something, I don't know, the US military seized some more oil that wasn't ours but was like sanctioned? According to AP, US officials say tankers like this are part of a shadowy fleet of rusting oil tankers that smuggle oil for countries facing stiff sanctions such as Venezuela, Russia, and Iran. Finding oil tankers of this size was actually pretty easy now that Diddy is off the streets. I, for one, find it disgusting that there are rusting oil tankers out there that are not being used for Eurotrash raves. Even worse news, Linkin Park now has the title for their new album. The National Association of the Deaf sued the administration back in May for not continuing real-time sign language interpretation at White House press briefings and other events. This week, the administration just came out with the argument that providing ASL interpretation would severely intrude on the president's prerogative to control the image he presents to the public. Now, the easy joke is the president loves sign language. He's always talking with his hands, But what I'm gonna say is funnier. I hope. So, sign language interpretation would get in the way of the president's ability to control his public image. The National Association of the Deaf had the following response. Now, was that funnier than just going bing, bing, boom, boom, China? I don't know. It's up to you. I'm not really into it. Speaking of public image, at his arrest last year, apparently Luigi Mangione was found with a to-do list reminding himself to pluck his eyebrows and change his clothes. It's so cool to see a guy like Luigi have a to-do list right before he landed on everyone else's to-do list. Yeah, Luigi's to-do list included his intent to change his clothes. It's important for people to change their clothes. And you know what? Not just people. Yeah, I am shading you, desk monsters. You smell so bad. And yeah, I know you're monsters, but you can still practice some basic hygiene. If you're gonna keep me here, this has gotta be a shared space. For the first time, sugar-free Oreos are coming to America, and finally a reason not to kill myself. In related news, Cookie Monster has decided to run for president in 2028. In his announcement, he said, "We cannot let Big Cookie take away our rights. Cane sugar for the people." I don't know why he's JFK. This marks the first time that Cookie Monster has opposed a big cookie. It's dark times out here. The sugar-free Oreo has been available in China and Europe for a while, and it's the perfect cookie for those looking to make Santa give up on humanity. Oreo's slogan, of course, is "Milk's favorite cookie." But sugar-free Oreos were announced with the tagline, "Milk's favorite piece of shit." In other food news, Doritos and Cheetos are gonna contain fewer artificial ingredients and thus be less orange. And there it is, the reason to not kill myself. Also, Denny's is being bought by private equity. In unrelated news, in 2024, private equity-backed companies represented 27 out of 48 bankruptcies from companies with over $500 million in liabilities. So 56% of large bankruptcies are private equity's fault. I don't even know what private equity really is. I just know that we're all gonna miss those 3 a.m. pancakes. Bunch of theater kids still in their stage makeup, singing Greatest Showman at a table in the corner. All right, maybe we're not gonna miss that part so much. But other than that, when Denny's goes down, that's what private equity has taken from us. In a sense. Innocence. In a sense. This has been our new segment, Food News. Food News! She's dead! I don't know where we're at with the Warner Brothers, Netflix, Paramount, Saudi Arabia acquisition deal. But I'm gonna guess that Netflix is gonna buy all the IP stuff, and Paramount Skydance is gonna buy the CNN stuff, so Larry and David Ellison can further control the narrative that they want, like they're already doing at CBS with Barry Weiss. So no, I don't know where we're at with the deal, but I do know that they are absolutely going to auto-renew my subscription and charge my card a day early. It'd be a real shame if we had to cancel Paramount Plus, which I'm paying for, even though I'm not the one who needs it to watch Yellowstone. Yeah, I'm sure it's a great show, but Desk Monsters, did you guys take a shower and change your sheets? I am so proud of you all. This has been another episode of Newsstand. Hey, you guys got feedback, and then you made the effort to better yourselves, and that just says a lot about who you are. No, I'm sorry. I'm still not going to watch all the Yellowstone spin-offs with you. What the hell is a Duttonverse? Sugar-free Oreos were announced with the tagline, "Milk's favorite piece of shit." The sugar-free Oreo has been around. He's a slut. Jesus Christ. Welcome back to Newsstand. I can't get down from here. It's scary. This week, some of the Epstein files were released by the Justice Department. I started printing them out, but we ran out of toner before we even got to the Bill Clinton stuff. Speaking of Bill, and I know I'm not the first person on the left to say this, but when will conservatives understand that Bill is not our guy? We've seen the current president in tons of pictures with Jeff Epstein, and we've seen Bill Clinton in tons of pictures with Jeff Epstein. But we're not rocking with Bill if he's in there. And he's in there. And we weren't really rocking with Bill to begin with. We're not going to stand by any Democratic or left-leaning person who's guilty of any of the stuff that went on in the Epstein world. It's not that hard to understand. Obviously the Republicans, but everybody. If Billy Joel's in there, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's been estimated that the DOJ only released about 10% of everything they have, and most of it wasn't even new. It's kind of like when Billy Joel releases like an anniversary album, remastered with bonus tracks, but the only bonus track is just a really weird picture of Bill Clinton with Michael Jackson and Diana Ross. Please, don't let the Piano Man be in there, Santa. As everyone predicted, the files are super redacted, so it protects the president, and more files will be released and sorted through by actual journalists, not this guy, over the weekend, so we'll have more on this next time. Vanity Fair released their interview with the president's cabinet this week, featuring deliberately unflattering zoomed-in headshots. Oh, Jesus Christ! The photos are so glaring and bizarre that the photographer Christopher Anderson truly deserves to win a Pulitzer. The same does not apply to you, Mom. Retake the picture. Fun fact about me, I'm 26. And Caroline Leavitt here is 28. Ugh. Marco Rubio looks to be about 7 3/4. Seen here, unable to figure out how to plug this damn lamp back in. This week, the administration came out with more proposals to limit and effectively ban gender-affirming care for minors. Really? You want to give hardworking men like Jebediah body dysmorphia on top of black lung? Oh, minors with an O. Oh, well, that sucks too. And for the record, I think that our hardworking coal miners have a right to gender-affirming care as well. Is that a crazy take? I think that makes sense. Can we be pro-coal miner but anti-coal mining? I mean, I just want coal miners to have health care. And trans kids. And to any trans kids out there, maybe some non-binary folks, if you're still, in the market for a new name that would really affirm who you are, might I suggest Jebediah. Not a ton of Jebediahs walking around out there. And come on, it would really spice up those icebreakers. Oh, hi everyone. I'm Jebediah, she, they. And a fun fact about me is I have black lung. Excuse me. Anywho, fortunately, these shitty proposals are not yet final or official law, and it will take some time to go through the long rule-making process. But still, banning gender-affirming care sucks. Remember when the president made himself in charge of the Kennedy Center and handpicked all the new board members? Well, now they are changing the name of the Kennedy Center to the Trump Kennedy Center. Aw, he and RFK Jr. are getting married. The president and John F. Kennedy actually have a lot in common. They both come from money, they both had a successful book, they both had extramarital affairs, and with any luck, next time the president visits Dallas, maybe we'll add another thing they have in common to the Venn diagram. That they both famously visited Dallas. That's it, that's all I'm saying. The president also signed an executive order to change weed's drug classification from kinda like heroin to the chiller level of kinda like ketamine. And if weed is like ketamine, this means we have to start giving it to horses, and the Kentucky Derby will now have a sister event called the Kentucky Doobie. The Kentucky Doobie, where we see how fast horses can eat a bag of chips in one sitting and who can hit a gravity bong without coughing. Jebediah's a lightweight. I'm not a lightweight. I have black lung, asshole. The president's media company, which runs Truth Social, is merging with a nuclear fusion company called TEA Technologies. I'm not smart enough to tell you why this is bad or a conflict of interest, but you feel it too, right? A storm in southern Brazil ruined a replica of the Statue of Liberty. Ruined? Honey, it was ruined when she bought it.
Yeah.
So, a hollow replica of the American image of freedom and opportunity for immigrants has crashed to the ground. I hope this isn't symbolic of anything. Wiz Khalifa has been sentenced to 9 months in Romanian prison for drug possession after allegedly smoking weed on stage at the Beach Please Music Festival in 2024. If only he had just done ketamine, which we now know to be a fun recreational drug. Former Justice Department Special Counsel Jack Smith said on Wednesday that there is proof without a shadow of a doubt that the president conspired to overturn the 2020 election. Additionally, there is proof beyond a tiny shadow of a tiny doubt that the president has a tiny doink. His doink must be so tiny, as that is the only explanation for why it wasn't visible in the Epstein files. It's definitely not taking up this whole page. Maybe a footnote down here. In anticipation of the nation's 250th birthday, the president announced plans to host the opening first-ever Patriot Games, a national high school athletic competition. Critics are comparing it to the book and film series The Hunger Games. Well, I guess it's a great opportunity for the president to bring back his iconic catchphrase, "You're on fire." That can't be right. Sorry, that was a minor error. We all know that his iconic catchphrase is... No, Desk Monsters, minor with an O. Stop correcting me when I'm trying to finish the show. This has been another episode of Newsstand. It was a minor error. Like a small one. A minor error would be forgetting to bring that canary down there with you. Am I right, Jebediah? She's not here. They're probably out smoking weed somewhere. I have black lung, asshole. I have black lung, asshole. That sounds pretty serious. Be so tiny, as that is the only explanation for... I can't say explanation, I'm gonna fucking lose my gourd. Welcome back to Newsstand. I can't get down from here, it's scary. This week, CBS's editor-in-chief, Barry Weiss, polled a segment from 60 Minutes about deportees' experience at the notoriously inhumane El Salvador prison, CCOT. The segment was polled pretty last minute before it was set to air in the US, but it still aired accidentally in Canada. Whoopsie. This reminds me of our joke from early November. NBC's Stumble is a cheerleading mockumentary, but CBS's Stumble was trusting Barry Weiss to do journalism. I called it. And by I called it, I mean John Oliver called it. And really everyone saw this coming. Oh man, she just sucks. Larry and David Ellison suck too. In his effort to put Christ back in Christmas, to put the Crusades back in Christmas, the president attacked ISIS-linked targets in Nigeria in retaliation for the killings of Christians. The president posted, "May God bless our military and Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists." Now, every president has at least kinda sucked, but they weren't always just blatant psychopaths. Could you imagine if Obama drone-striked another wedding and then just tweeted out, "Best wishes from me and Michelle to the happy couple. Have a spectacular honeymoon." Sorry, I can only do JFK, but the K stands for kinda. One positive thing for Kennedy, in my 1 minute of Wikipedia research, is that he had decent policy and advocacy for African nations' independence from their colonizers. So speaking of white people not leaving African nations alone, with a new law, legislators in Algeria declared France's colonization from 1830 to 1962 a crime and called for restitution. Now, I don't know a lot about global politics, but I'm with Algeria on this one, unless someone learns me something new. Remember, I'm not a journalist. I'm a Dumbo on a desk, surrounded by monsters. It's kind of comforting in its own way, you know? I'm not alone. In the meantime, I'm taking these stories as an opportunity to make sure I can find these African countries on a map. Now, when I guessed earlier today, I did get Algeria correct, thank you Albert Camus, but I did not get Nigeria correct. Now, here's an easy one. Where's Madagascar? No fucking way. Back home, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of blocking the National Guard's deployment in Illinois. They said the government has failed to identify a source of authority that would allow the military to execute the laws in Illinois. It's just a bummer that for the Supreme Court, the law takes so long to arrive at what we all already agreed upon. Like tomorrow, they're probably gonna announce like, White Lotus Season 3 is kinda boring. And we'll be like, yeah, Queen, we knew. Where you been? Of course I'm not blaming Walton Goggins. Have some faith in me, Desk Monsters. We here at Newsstand love the GOG. The GOG.
The GOG.
the Justice Department didn't follow the law to release all their Epstein files in 30 days or provide a searchable way to look through the ones they did release. And they seem to have redacted the names of potential co-conspirators, which they weren't supposed to do, and a bunch of stuff they were supposed to redact, like victims' names, was easily unredacted by copying and pasting in another document app. They also removed some documents from the website, so it's fun that they're just allowed to do that. And one document contains the story of a victim, trigger warning, who said the current president raped her when she was 13, and the current president was present when her uncle killed her newborn baby and threw it in Lake Michigan. The victim was later found dead from a gunshot. Now, just to be safe, allegedly, just for everything I just said, and also just to be safe, I have no plans to kill myself anytime soon. You never know who's watching or listening. The DOJ says it needs a few more weeks to release the rest of the files, and yet they call themselves good Christians. It took Jesus 3 days to quite literally rise from the dead. Get your act together, people. What would Jesus do? He'd get it done in 3 days, Sheila. I don't know who Sheila is. I'm sure she's doing a great job. And on the one hand, yes, of course, release all of the files. But on the other hand, what else do we need to find out for it to be enough? Now, here's some more lighthearted news. There was a muddy eruption at Yellowstone's Black Diamond Pool in the Biscuit Basin between Old Faithful and Grand Prismatic. If nothing else, the national parks need to keep their funding so they can give the guy who names all these places a raise. He's killing it. Hey Ron, I don't know what a bison is, so I don't know, what should we name this thing? I'll tell you what we're gonna name that fucking bison. That right there? That's the Biscuit Bison. The acting ICE director, Todd Lyons, said he wants to get better at treating the, lawless deportations as if it's a business. Quote, like Amazon Prime, but with human beings. Imagine saying this and then going to get, like, a sandwich. The only way you'd feel normal is if you ordered puppies on rye. Lighthearted news, lighthearted. Here we go. This year, Christian pop music grew in mainstream popularity thanks to artists with fun names like Brandon Lake and Forrest Frank. I did not make those up. You know, I noticed things were getting more Christian when I saw this banger track at the gas station this year.
Pick up 2 slices of pizza.
I'd now like to take this opportunity to debut my Christian pop persona. Ladies and gentlemen, Empty Reservoir Jones.
Our God is a bussin' yacht he loves, and Anheuser-Busch products, and drinks responsibly. Our God is a bussin' yacht.
I see why it's getting so popular. You know the classics.
6, 7, I'm going to heaven, and I never ever feeling for Kevin. I'm not gay, but I guess it's okay. Jesus never said that you can't go slay. 6, 7, I'm going to heaven.
That's maybe the most vulnerable piece of art I've ever put out. At the Times Square New Year's Eve celebration in New York next week, the ball will be a patriotic crystal ball to commemorate the US's 250th birthday. So this year, you don't need to see Anderson and Andy watch the American ball drop. We've been watching America drop the ball for the whole year. Oh, and it's a crystal ball. So crystal is the anniversary gift for 250 years. Huh. This whole year made me think it was Botox to neo-fascists. Also, I know 250 years is a big milestone, but America, your birthday isn't until July. Don't make us start celebrating in January. Hey, Times Square ball drop? There's not too much to celebrate right now. Read the room. Speaking of balls, the Powerball lottery numbers were announced on Christmas Eve. The jackpot winnings are worth 1.7 billion smackaroonies. The winner was someone in Arkansas. But just remember this, Arkansas, Ian. You will no longer be safe from the guillotine. Oh, the Desk Monsters do not like when I joke about cutting off the heads of billionaires. Sorry. This has been another episode of Newsstand. What do you say? No, you do not know the guy in Arkansas who won. You do not know him. What do you say? Hey, that song stuck in my head too. Our God is a bussin' yacht he loves. Joe Rogan endorsed product. Once again, Empty Reservoir Jones.
White, cloud dancer, Pantone's color of the year. White, that's the same color as my Messiah. White, If you don't think so, you're a liar. In your pants, they stay on fire. Kevin, I'm going to heaven with you. Oh, Kevin, oh.
Who's Kevin? I don't have feelings for Kevin. Speaking of balls, the Powerball, Jesus, kind of got it in one. That never happens.
6, 7, I'm going to heaven. I never slept with the Kevin.
I don't know. Why is he gay? Empty Reservoir can be gay if he wants. Also, we only declared independence in 1776. We weren't an established nation until we ratified the Constitution in 1789. What do I know?
White. What?
Hey, why is this my persona?